What's up guys, I'm your host with a beard and I'm on my way to review the all-new 2023 Range Rover. Or is it the 2022? I don't know anymore, man. Some say 22, some say 23. Anyways, it's the brand new one, so check it out. Right, ladies and gentlemen, here she is, the 2023 Land Rover Range Rover. So the biggest one you can get, the flagship car that Land Rover provides. As you can see, nothing much has changed in the front, just slightly redesigned headlights, and you see the swooping indicators and then the trademark daytime running lights. And these are the full LED lights equipped on this car with the matrix system in it. Traditional Land Rover grille. Love these kind of bronze accents right here, which give it kind of a bit more stance on the road. Not that this car needs it, because this car is stance on itself. When we move to the side of the new Range Rover, like this, you can see the typical Land Rover, Range Rover shape. These are 22-inch rims, huge rims, but they seem so small with this car. So I would go for like 23-inch rims or 24 if this is allowed in your country. Look at this, the shape is almost exactly the same apart from the backside, but I will go there in a few seconds. Let's move closer to the car and see the new type door handles. Pop out when you unlock the car, swooping indicators in these rear view mirrors, and then you just lock it like this and they disappear in the bodywork again. Huge car, parked it off-road, I mean, you know, off-road a little bit, to give this review a little more credibility. And now moving to the part of the new Range Rover that has changed and that they worked on the most, the backside. So as you can see, like the sides here, these are the lights and here are the indicators, as I'm going to show you guys right now by unlocking the car. Swooping indicators, of course, and then it's like kind of a liquid fills in. I'm sorry, my camera isn't picking up the right animation, but it's really beautiful. You know, they fill in like some kind of a liquid and it looks really good. Some people don't like the new design of the rear lights. I do. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It still looks badass. It still looks beautiful. And it still has, the backside has a road presence and you still, you know, can recognize it as a true Range Rover. Another fun fact about this car is that it has two fins. So one for like the radio antenna and everything. And the other part is a camera inside of the fin, which is used for the rear view mirror. And I'm going to show you guys inside in the car, so you don't have to look back all too much, because this car is very long, as you guys can see. This is not even the long wheelbase. If you have the long wheel version of this car, you get a third row of seating as well. But this one is a short wheelbase, which is good because the long wheelbase was going to be way too long. But still, overall, a very, very beautiful, very imposing car. Let's check the boot space of the all-new Range Rover. Of course, fully electrically opening, clamshell opening, so the upper part and the lower part both open. And as we are used to from previous Range Rover models, you can sit on this part here. And the neat thing is, if you pull on this lever, this is a backrest. So you can just sit there and rest your back against that with a nice cold drink on a hot day like this and enjoy the beautiful view. Well, this is not as beautiful, but anyways. The boot space is absolutely massive. Massive and high. You can stack a lot of stuff in here. You can even recline these seats back there, fully electrically, of course. And when you press these buttons, there goes the seat. And there goes that seat, which reveals a completely flat loading floor. And you can even put the shelf electrically, of course. In a car like this, everything should be electrical. You can also take this partial shelf off, but you guys can see a very, very large boot space. Now let's check out the interior of the new Range Rover. Very big, very heavy doors. They open up very wide, so access is easy. Immediately you get greeted by this amazing stitched leather on the door panels with real wood. This is, ladies and gentlemen. These are the seat controls with the memory function integrated into the controls. Very beautiful. This door handle, look at this. It feels so sturdy, so solid. Real metal parts here. No cheap bits, as you guys can see. This is even leather padded with some sort of soft touch material in it. And then we enter this beautiful interior. Inside the new Range Rover, it is absolutely gorgeous, and I gotta say, what a luxurious place to spend time in. It's absolutely beautiful. We have some stitched leather on the dashboard right here. This two-tone steering wheel looks so good. It's very gorgeous. We have some metal type plastic trimmings right here. We have your different driver assist functions right here and some other functionalities right here. Stitched leather on the horn. We have wood trimmings right here, all underneath the dashboard. Wood trimmings on the door, as I showed you guys before. This air vent design is absolutely beautiful. Look how it integrates completely in the dashboard and runs throughout the whole cockpit from one door to the other. Very, very beautiful. Look at this part right here. Real wood. You can open this up. We have a charging pad for your phone right here. And then some cup holders or some storage space right here with a USB-C port to charge your phone. We have two cup holders, which you can also close with wood. Nice gear lever, I'm liking it. And here you have your different off-road functionalities. So when you turn this wheel, you can see on this screen. Well, I do not want to do that, but here you can select your different undergrounds that you are in. Let's put this back like this. We see the middle console, very large. Look at this. Almost my whole arm, or half of my arm, disappears in it. It's absolutely huge. Close this up, leather padded. And we also have some extra armrests for the larger people amongst us. That elevates a bit above this, so you can rest your arms on here. The Range Rover has been equipped with these seats, which are very heavily padded. Nice cushions right here, very heavily padded. These are heated seats, not cool seats, but we don't need that in Belgium. Look at this. These are practically chairs, you know, like the kind of sofas you use in your living room. Very nicely padded. They are very comfortable. I've driven some decent distance this weekend in them, and they are very, very comfortable. You don't get tired at all. And like this, you can change their positions. So these are the seat controls with the memory functions integrated in it. Very beautiful buttons as well. Also have a very large, look at this, how big this is, panoramic sunroof, which can fully open. This is a cover, so if there is too much sun inside, you can just close this like this. And now the entire roof is closing. Very nice to have in a car like this, because it can get a bit dark when everything is closed. The door bins are of a decent size as well. Let me close this so the car doesn't nag at me. We have a glove box up here, which is pretty decent and pretty big. And a glove box, if you press this button, the glove box down here opens, which is also very large, decently deep. It's not as large as I would have expected in a car like this, but hey, if you don't have space in this left anymore, you have still space in the backup glove box. I have discovered an extra storage space in the middle console. So basically, these cup holders, you can slide back like this. And look at this. So much space still here. You can get rid of a lot of stuff in this car. We have a new style, very clear, very crisp, fully digital gauge cluster behind the steering wheel right here. You have a decent amount of customization. You can choose from 3 different layouts of this screen. You can have like the complete screen covered in the navigation. You can have another information panel type of gauge cluster where you can choose what to put on the left side and what to put on the right side. Very nice, very decent, and very clear even in bright sunlight, as it is the case today. We move to the, again, new style for this car, infotainment screen right here. So we got all your various apps right here. This is the navigation map, which is reasonably responsive, as you can see. Yeah, very responsive, practically like a smartphone. Look at this. Very nice. It responds really well to your touch. You don't even have to touch it that hard. It's for your music, your different car settings right here. Let's get out of here. and then you can just choose from different settings right here. These will be the most important apps for people that like to go off-roading with this car or are pulling heavy weights like trailers and stuff. You also have some ambient lighting. I can't show you guys. I'll try to make a night video if I have the car this night still, but I think I have to give it back this evening. And of course, la pièce de résistance, the absolutely beautiful high definition cameras of the Range Rover. Look at this. Look at the quality of this video. You can look all around your car. Even when it is driving, the cameras can stay on and you can look all around you. It's a very, very gorgeous. Underneath the infotainment screen, we can see the controls for the climate system. As we've seen in other Jaguar and Land Rover models, this has stayed the same. So you press the button to turn on the seat heating or the seat cooling. I am sorry, this car does have a ventilated seat. I didn't know that, but apparently it does. Very, very nice. Wow. All right, you see, even car reviewers can make mistakes. So this for the car heating and the cooling. When you press this button, you come to the temperatures again, and then when you pull it, you can check the fan speed. Very nice touch in these cars. And now let's check out the space in the rear of the all-new Range Rover. Very large and very wide opening doors, therefore access is easy. Oh my God, it's nice in here, even in the back. All right, the door closes with a nice satisfying thud. This seat, look at the amount of knee room I have, people. Look at this. This seat is reclined all the way back because I was reviewing the cockpit earlier. And if this seat is put into my driving position and I'm about 5'10", 5'11", I have double or even more that of knee room. Very nice. If we move to the middle seat, we can see that people back here have their own climate system, completely adjustable for each person. The middle seat is very, very usable, very comfortable, but the backrest is a bit on the firm side, but it shouldn't be that much of a problem. The floor is almost completely flat. There's like a small bump here, but you can easily put your feet up here and enjoy the nice view of the road in front of you. I'm between 5'10" and 5'11". I have absolutely loads of headspace, even with the panoramic roof that cuts into the headspace a little bit. Look at how much room that I have. So people over 6 foot will be just fine here over longer journeys. The seats back here, so the seats on the left and on the right, these are also partly in this car electrically adjustable. So when you press this button right here, you can recline the backrest of these seats a little bit so you can slouch down if you're a bit tired. Nicely padded as well. These seats are very comfortable, especially on the left and the right. Part can be pulled out like this, which reveals some cup holders in here. These do feel a bit flimsy. In a car, this is a €100,000 plus car, and they feel really flimsy. It shouldn't be like this. Anyways, and we have some storage space right here as well for some change or a smartphone or something. Let's close it up. Also fully leather wrapped. And we even have some peasant blockers to shield you from the sun. And now let's see how the 2023 Range Rover drives and behaves on the road. Immediately you get the feeling that you are the king of the road because this car is so high, so elevated, you look down on everybody, and literally a mobile home is passing me by, and I think I was even a bit higher than that car. Anyways, the car drives like a dream, guys. The air suspension in this Range Rover is doing its job extremely well. It's exquisite, and you just, I mean, the fact that this car is so big, so boaty, it's heavy and it's very large as well, you get the feeling that you are sailing over the streets. It's like you don't feel the roads, especially on a flat surface. You don't feel it at all. Even with these 22-inch rims, you're good to go. The streets, I gotta say, this car is not for driving around town, or not a lot anyways, because the streets are too narrow. You're gonna have trouble finding some parking spots, but that shouldn't be an issue. If you have a tight spot that this car barely can fit in, you can still have the help of the 360-degree camera that's fitted to it. But I would stay clear of very, very small roads. The car tries to keep itself straight, even in the bends. Not like a Porsche or an M4 or anything like that, but still. These seats are one of the most comfortable seats in any car that I've reviewed. Very padded. And now that I've discovered that they have ventilated seats, I've turned the ventilation on because it's a very hot day today, and I have the windows closed for sound purposes. This car that I'm driving is the D350, which means this is a diesel with 350 horsepower, and I'm on a straight road now. Let me floor the throttle. Yeah, it's got a decent amount of pickup speed. The torque is insane. It kicks in immediately. It's not a car that you want to speed in or anything, but if you want to overtake somebody on the highway, you have plenty of power. No issue there. And if you want even more powerful versions, you can go for the autobiography or the SVR, which are going to be insanely fast. Yeah. Wow. This car catches on speed so easily. But it's a very heavy car. Braking distance is going to be a large distance as well, so be very careful when going on higher speeds while driving this Range Rover. But for the rest, it's just amazing in here. You have a perfect view on this amazing digital gauge cluster right in front of you. The navigation system here is very clear, very crisp. I can see everything perfectly, even though I'm wearing sunglasses. We have a heads-up display that provides you with all sorts of information right there. I can't see it perfect right now because there is a crack in the window. There's a rock that flew against it and it just cracked it. It's going to be an expensive fix because these are heated windshields as well. For the rest, you have a perfect view right in front of you. Large windows on the sides, so no issue there. In the back, although the back is pretty far away, the window is not curved or not on an angle, so it's almost completely flat, so you have a decent view over the road. You do have a big blind spot right there on the right side, but if people are sitting behind you and you can't see the back window there is another function on this car. If you press this button on the rear view mirror, and this is where the camera in the fin that I was talking about earlier for the exterior review plays in, and that camera starts recording or starts playing the video feed from what is behind the car, and you can see everything behind it. No people that are obstructing your view. Very neat feature and very needed in cars like this. You got all the room you could possibly dream of in the front right here in the cockpit. Your passenger as well. You're going to be both sitting here with all the ease, even on longer journeys. Your passengers back there, especially if you're carrying two passengers, they're going to be above 6 feet even. They're going to be extremely comfortable back there. Even if you are transporting 3 people, because the middle seat is very usable. What does bother me in this car is that these huge rear view mirrors let in quite a bit of wind noise, and although there is no tire noise or anything noticeable or very far in the distance, engine noise is practically neglectable, because especially when it's warmed up, because the engine is very well isolated. It's a diesel engine, it's going to be quiet, and whereas normally diesel engines are, you know, pretty loud, this one is a 3-liter 6 inline, so not a V6 anymore, a 6 inline with 350 horsepower, and it's very quiet, especially when you're cruising along. You're not picking up, you don't hear the engine at all. The wind mirrors though, or the rear view mirrors, I like to call them wind mirrors because they let in such a large amount of wind noise, but you can completely forget about that because this Range Rover has been equipped with the Meridian sound system, and believe me people, I have listened to it and it is amazing. I think from all the cars that I've reviewed, this is the best sound system in any car. I still have to review a car with a better sound system than this. Even the Harman Kardon sound system in the 7 Series, it was good at best, but it wasn't anything special. This one is. You definitely feel that you are sitting in a very premium vehicle. There are no cheap parts, leather everywhere, wood, metal trims. They did not cheap out on any plastic parts. There is leather, soft touch materials all the way up until the bottom of the floor of the Range Rover, and there is a reasonably thick carpeting as well, so you do feel very isolated and in your own capsule kind of. Build quality is great. No scratchy noises, no intrusive sounds or anything, not that I have noticed. I'm not particularly fond of SUVs if I have to buy them, but this car, I can't stop driving it. It's so buttery smooth, you know, and I can only imagine how it must be if you're driving like a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or something, because for me, can it be any more comfortable? Because this is the most comfortable car I've ever driven in my reviews. You have these flippers on the steering wheel as well, but you're never going to use it, because I don't even know why they put it in these big luxury SUVs or sedans, because nobody uses them. These cars are not meant for sporty driving at all. They're just for long journeys. They just eat away the highway miles.